Welcome back, Blood Bowl fans, to week 6 of this 9-week league. We're getting close to the end, and by Nuffle is it getting tight on those tables. With the middle of the road being so close in Division 1, every touchdown is important. Even more so for the 7th, 8th and 9th place teams who are fighting it out to avoid relegation. With RecTrack dropping into the relegation zone, this game is vital. The playing against the 3rd place Necro team won't be an easy game. The Crimson Fuckers have their best opportunity to earn their first win, facing off against the only team in the league with an all-round weaker armour than them, the Wood Elves of Aurora, who have struggled up until this point, but have earned 4 points in their past 3 games, which is not bad. But regrettably, the Crimson Fuckers could not claim their first win, but they have got their first touchdown of the season, which I know Divot is proud of, and we are all proud of him. Unfortunately for the Waywatchers though, RecTrack's big 3-0 upset against the Necromantic team see the Wood Elves still stuck at the top of the relegation zone, whilst the Whiskey Kings swap places due to their draw against the top of the table Sampitu. Not that they'd complain about that, mind you. That draw, along with the Lizard Stomp against the Nurgle, sees the Sons of Lustria take the top spot once again. With only 3 games left, even the Crimson Fuckers can still make it out of the relegation zone. On the other side of the spectrum, however, even the Feywood Waywatchers can still technically win the whole thing, though it would require a myriad of upsets and draws, but you never know what Nuffle might be planning. Speaking of Nuffle, it seems he's finally decided to move his light away from the High Elves this week, as I'm going to jump straight into the scores with the fact that they've finally dropped a point! Arguably the opponent who was most likely to beat him, but I still feel no one thought it was going to happen. With that loss, not only did the Norse jump to the top, but it means that every team in the GRUMBBL Season 1 have dropped a point somewhere this season. Despite that, and a myriad of wins across the board, no other positions changed in the league, somehow. That draw between the Washington Trumps and the Vermin Tiders makes it very difficult for either team to gain promotion this season, as they now have to win all 3 games with at least one of the current top 3 only getting 1 point or less from their remaining 3 games. Whilst possible, very unlikely. A key victory for the Necromantic against the Dark Elves this week secures their top 3 spot, for now, and making the road to promotion even more difficult for the Dark Elves, particularly as they face the High Elves next week. Though we have seen that the mighty can fall, so... Now onto a new segment. Thanks to our lovely website Gremlin Aramis, we have new graphs to show you guys. These show the potential positions that teams could finish in by the end of the following week, so in this case by the end of week 7. So looking at Division 1, thanks to there being 1 point difference between 4th and 8th, there is a high contention for those middle spots. But more importantly, however, it shows that any team from 4th and below can end up in the relegation zone by the end of next week, so the pressure is on for everyone. Whilst over in Division 2, the teams are more looking to play the long game. The top 3 can shuffle around, but there's no threat of them leaving the top 3. Whilst the Super Freakonomics, Vermin Tiders and Washington Trumps will all be looking to get as close as possible to those top spots, to set themselves up to jump in there in the final 2 weeks. With no relegation for Division 2, the only fight is for the bottom 5 to avoid the qualification stage of the Cup, but more on that next week. Right, now let's take a moment to remember the fallen. Ah, those poor Skaven, suffering another 2 losses this week. When will the carnage end? Hopefully never. And that's all for this week. Be sure to check the Twitch for the live games, and we now have all the VODs over on our website as well, just in case you can't be bothered to scroll through YouTube, for whatever reason. Thank you all for watching, happy blood bowling, and may Nuffle bless you all. Ta-ra!